Olivier Awards feel very far away. We have about 9 months until we see the Olivier Awards return. However, because of how they work, and because we're currently in the season that will be eligible, there have been some question marks about 2 musicals that have reopened in London this year. 2 returning musicals that theatre fans are a little bit unsure where and if they will even be nominated. So today I'm going to walk you through the situation. I'm going to tell you the facts and kind of theorise a little bit what might happen with the Olivier Awards this year surrounding these 2 musicals. But if you haven't seen my face before, hi, I'm Ellie, I talk about theatre. I do reviews, I do discussions, I do video essays, and if any of that's interesting to you, please consider hitting like and subscribe, it really helps me, it helps out the channel. But let us discuss this situation. So, the 2 musicals this year that are raising the most question marks are Groundhog Day and Hadestown. Both of these musicals have or are returning to London and have previously been eligible in other Olivier Awards ceremonies. So, if they've already been in London before, surely these will count as revivals. But they're both pretty much the same production that has previously been in London. So, is it a new musical? Is it a revival? Is it a remounting? Is it eligible for another award? Now, there are key differences between these 2, so I'm going to separate them. There's one that I feel is a bit more clean cut and I can give a stronger answer to, and the other one that I feel like I'm theorising a lot more. So let's start with Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day the musical has had quite a strong history with the Olivier Awards. This production was the pre-Broadway tryout, which played at the Old Vic in 2016, and went on to win the Olivier Awards in 2017 for Best Actor for Andy Karl and Best New Musical. 6 years later, we've seen the show return to London, and yes, it's pretty much the same production. There are some slight differences, some things they've learnt from Broadway, but it's still got the same creative team, it's in the same theatre, and it's got the same leading star in Andy Karl. So if it's the same production, your gut feeling is that it's not going to be eligible again. However, there is another musical that did a kind of remounting, but was still eligible for Olivier Awards, and that is Mary Poppins. 2004 and the 2019 productions of Mary Poppins had the same directors, pretty much the same creative team, and was more or less the same production. However, it was nominated for the Olivier Awards again, in the category of Best Revival. I think there are some key differences here as why Mary Poppins got the revival, and why I think Groundhog Day will probably not. The key thing is time. Mary Poppins, it had been 15 years. And with a completely new cast, I think there was a little bit more reason as to why this could be eligible again. With only 6 years, the exact same creative team and the same leading star, I don't know if Groundhog Day will get the push, even if it is eligible, and to be fair, if the same rules apply from Mary Poppins to Groundhog Day, it could still be eligible. I don't know if they will quite want to give it the actual nominations, especially in a very competitive year like this one. But if Matthew Bourne and Stephen Mear can win the Olivier Award for the same choreography twice, I don't know why this doesn't mean that Groundhog Day can't do the same. So, will Groundhog Day be eligible again? I don't think so. They've already won. And I think this production is so similar and so close to the original that there just doesn't really seem to be justification to give it more nominations, even if it is eligible. This isn't really a revival, it's a remounting. But if Mary Poppins can do it, I think there is an argument to be had that it is a possibility. I just wouldn't bet money on it. The bigger question mark and the harder one to nail down is Hadestown. Hadestown originated in the UK at the Olivier Theatre as part of the National. This pre-Broadway run in 2018 was its final step before going to Broadway, where they went on to win the Tony Awards. However, in the UK, it didn't get any nominations. It was eligible, but it didn't get any fanfare. It was a tough year. It was the same year as Come From Away, Fun Home, and a lot of other really strong new musicals. So I think it's safe to say that the producers behind Hadestown will probably want that fanfare that they didn't quite get in 2019. So the question then becomes, if Hadestown is eligible again, will it be a new musical or will it be a revival? There have been some very key developmental changes between Off West End to Broadway, which is probably justification enough for it to be eligible again. But it is technically the same production. The difference here between Groundhog Day and Mary Poppins, two musicals with a very similar situation as this, is that Hadestown didn't get that fanfare, it didn't get the nominations. It was eligible, but it didn't make it through. So, will the Olivier Awards kind of give it a free pass and allow it to go in as a new musical? Once again. So, will Hadestown be eligible again? I'm pretty certain. This one I can bet money on. I think Hadestown will be eligible again. What I can't guarantee is which category it's going to fit into. The lack of awards last time makes me think that the Olivier Awards might just let it campaign again in Best Musical. Even though, by all accounts, it probably should be a revival. The time span between this and its last London run is even smaller than Groundhog Day. And whereas Groundhog Day was a limited run, this is trying to go for an open-ended run. It's going to want that awards push, it's going to want that fanfare, it's going to want the nomination specifically. And it's likely that this time, with a lot more hype behind it, it could get those. But I think with Hadestown, we are just going to have to wait and see where the show falls. I mean, it's even harder to speculate with this one because it hasn't even opened yet. It's opening kind of just before the cut-off period, which is normally quite a good thing for shows because it means it's fresh in the nominations committee's minds when it comes to nominating shows for the Olivier Awards. If I was to make a prediction, I think it will be eligible in Best Musical. I think they will kind of sweep it under the carpet. The Olivier Awards doesn't tend to be a stickler for the rules. Look at Mary Poppins. They kind of just do what they want. I mean, every year we see a gag nomination or something surprising and big, like 7 actors all being nominated for the same one award. And that specific thing has happened, like, 3-4 years in a row with the cast of Six, the cast for Black Boys, the puppetry behind Life of Pi. I think it's very likely that because of this lack of nominations, the committee will allow Hadestown to be considered a new musical. But I wouldn't be surprised if it has to be counted as a revival. So, what do you think? Do you think Hadestown will be considered a revival or a new musical? Do you think Groundhog Day will randomly get nominated again? Let me know all your thoughts on this very complicated situation in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It really helps me, it helps out the channel. Here's some links to my other videos on the screen right now, and a link to my Instagram if you want to drop me a follow over there. But that's it for me today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!